Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go into the first round of 8 match to be casted today. It is going to be eOnzErG versus Ty2 here in a ZvZ starting on Gladiator. And at the top left position as the purple Zerg, the man himself, Ty2.
In the bottom right position, eOnzErG in the white.
Alrighty. Ty2, man. Another tough opponent here. Although I guess to be fair, I think all the people still in the tournament are tough opponents. So it's not like you can, dodge someone in the bracket or anything. Everyone is difficult to play against now.
Not only that, but at the end of the day, if you want to win the tournament, you're going to have to beat the best. So you're going to have to come across the best at some point. If Ty2 wants to win, he's going to have to beat Eon at some point, whether it be in the final or the round of 8. This is his chance to shine.
Indeed it is. And, well, let's see what happens. Of course, cross-map positions means we're not going to have any Overlord scouting advantages, but we'll have to see how the builds go. Since it is a 4-player map, we could potentially see a 12-hatch to start off from one of these guys. I know Eon's done that a few times in Best of series to start off with the greedy build. Although he did get punished most recently against Not4U when he did that, so we'll see if he mixes it up here. Of course, 12 pool expand I think is more common and is the usual kind of safe eco build that players go. And we are indeed seeing 12 drones from both players.
Yep, I mean we could even see 12 hatch from both of them. Eon has done that a few times in his games. We do see that 12 pool coming up for Ty2, and we do in fact see Eon going for the 12 hatch. This seems to be quite a common occurrence with him in Best of series.
Yeah, I wonder if well, for any of you who goes to Zergs watching this, I recommend going 9 pool in the first game against eOnzErG if you ever have to play him in a tournament, because this is definitely something we've seen before, and it's quite, and in this case it's absolutely beautiful. 12 hatch against 12 pool, cross positions, pretty much zero danger of against Ty2's Lings, and he's going to be very happy. Interestingly, Ty2's first Overlord actually went cross map, and the second Overlord went to his natural, which is usually the kind of scouting pattern you do if you're doing something sneaky like a 12 hatch or 9 pool and you don't want your opponent to know where you are. But in this case he went for such a standard build that I'm not 100% sure why he went for the cross map scout. But in this case it's actually going to benefit him a lot, because he's actually going to get the first Overlord scout in eOnzErG's base. So both players get an advantage. Ty2 with scouting, Eon with build.
He's just doing it to prove you wrong, basically, because at the start you did say there won't be a scouting advantage. Well, Ty2 just wanted to prove you otherwise. Went straight for that cross-map scout, and he has actually got his links. Now, interestingly, he's not being aggressive with his early links. Maybe he thinks that it could be possible. I mean, he doesn't know anything right now. He still hasn't scouted where eOnzErG even is. He will now see this first Overlord coming from the top right position. So I think he should be fine knowing that he is cross-map. But there we go, sending a Ling Scout into the bottom left main as well, just to make sure.
Yes, indeed. And man, I can't believe I was able to caster curse a freaking Overlord scouting pattern. I mean, this is some hardcore cursing going on. I mean, I almost want to, to actually test out my powers in laboratory conditions, you know what I mean? Just prove that caster curse is actually real, and I'm somehow telepathically influencing these players every time I say something. Oh man. That's one of those things that's just like, it's one of the most useless superpowers ever. Or actually, wait a minute, maybe it's not, because you can just make players lose important games for big prize money.
Yeah, now Eon actually, Ty2 actually cancelled one of his eggs just then. I'm not sure what he was building. The interesting choice. Now, another thing that Eon loves to do when he goes 12 hatch, I guess it is fairly common, is he does always get this sunken early and then builds this like wall of lings on a diagonal. This is yet another eOnzErG trademark I've seen in the first games of series recently. So Eon maybe needs to change it up soon, because people are going to start blind countering him.
Yes, indeed. Interestingly, Bo3 just said in chat that eOnzErG never 12 hatches against Bo3 because Bo3 always goes 9 pool. So I guess there are some exceptions. But man, that one Zergling from eOnzErG almost killed a drone from Ty2. It was one hit away from actually killing that drone, which would have been a really big win there. I mean, every single drone is critical in these matchups. By the way, it looks like 10 drones on minerals plus 3 on gas, 13 for Eon. And what is this? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Interestingly, Ty2 actually has one more drone, it seems, than eOnzErG.
Yeah, it's because Eon built that sunken. He had to use that early drone to build the creep colony.
Wow. Very interesting.
We do see the Spire coming up for both players. It looks like eOnzErG's Spire is about 100 health ahead as well, so his Spire is going to be ever so slightly quicker, but as it isn't, I mean, there is no close air on this map, so it's not going to make too much of a difference. But look at this, eOnzErG breaking out of his base with so many speedlings at the moment.
That is many speedlings indeed. Ty2, he sees them coming. He had a Zergling running down. He sees the massive Zerglings. He's building a sunken colony. It will be finished for this attack. He has a good arc here above his ramp. Is it going to be enough, though, to stop this attack? It should be. This is kind of like the pre-Muta attack here. And here we go. One drone actually gets sniped. eOnzErG sniping a couple of drones at the top side. Some of the things actually curve around the top side. Ty2 not really getting a good surface area with his links. He's bunching up a lot. Half his links weren't even attacking. It's going to be very, very close here. I think Ty2 is barely going to win it. And indeed, one Zergling makes it through only.
The sunken was worth its weight in gold, and Eon didn't split his links well enough, so that sunken didn't even go down. Eon with not a very great engagement there, but finally from both players we see the Muteless coming out. Interestingly, Eon's gone straight into 2 Scourge to start with, but it looks like Ty2 has actually opted to go straight for the 4 Muteless.
Yes, indeed. 4 Mutas and 2 Scourge against 4 Mutas, 5 Mutas now. I mean, you know, I don't think either player is going to commit to an attack right here. You can see eOnzErG just going for some Overlord hunting. One Zergling from Ty2 yet again coming down to check. But man, that attack, I really feel... I think both players made some mistakes there, because Ty2 didn't get the best position. You know, he had his units clumping up a little bit, but eOnzErG I also thought had an opportunity there to do a bit more damage. But he did snipe 2 drones though. So if I recount the drones right now, it is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13 still against 1, 2, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 1 drone advantage, I guess, for Ty2?
Yeah, looks like he must have used some lava to rebuild some drones again. Because he did build that creep colony as well, so I mean, it looks like the Muta count is a lot higher right now for eOnzErG, so he must have rebuilt some drones, and this could actually hurt him.
Oh man, he's coming in here to the main base. Ty2's Mutas are out of position. It looks like
he gets
7
5
Mutas.
drones.
Oh my god, 7 on 7 kicks. It's very, very close, but it looks like eOnzErG still has Scourge. Ty2 does not. eOnzErG micros down Ty2 Scourge. He's down to 6. Oh man, Ty2 is so dead.
He is. It's only 6 Mutas against 8 now. He does manage to drive eOnzErG's Mutas back. I think they must be a little bit more frightened. It looks like Ty2 once again cancelling one of his eggs.
Yep.
So I've seen him do that a few times now. I'm not sure if maybe he's trying to overbuild drones or something, but it seems a bit odd you'd cancel the eggs in this situation.
It maybe was an Overlord or something that he built before the attack came in because he needed supply, but since he lost a whole bunch of units, he didn't need it anymore or something like that. That would kind of make sense to me as well. But I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to have to rely on eOnzErG messing up and getting a lot of Scourge connections, because otherwise, I don't think there's any way for him to actually win this. And here we go. Oh! It looks like he got a decent connection there. eOnzErG, he's trying to micro against the Scourge. eOnzErG getting his own Scourge coming in. The Overlord falls. And I think eOnzErG, with a massive Muta advantage, should be able to close out the game now. Oh my god, the last Muta is going to fall. Ty2 is going to fall in game number 1. Some Scourge coming out, but no way he's going to actually connect here. eOnzErG, his micro is too good, and GG.
I mean, interestingly, with this map, you do have that back expansion, which does make wing play a little less powerful. So we could see some very high drone counts early on, or we could see one of them going for a very, very early pull. Now, if we're basing this on eOnzErG's previous games that I've casted recently, we're likely going to see him go for 9 pull this game. unless the map choice comes into it, but he is a fan of going 9 pull on the second game of the series, especially given the fact he's up a game as well. He does like winning quickly, so...
It's a really long map though, so I don't know if 9-pull is necessarily going to do that much. For positions, by the way, eOnzErG will be on the left side and Ty2 on the right side, as you guys can probably see from the overlay. But yeah, that's an interesting point. I sometimes wonder, or I wish they would actually have like a number of seconds it takes to get from your main to the opponent's main or something like that, like those rush times. I imagine it's quite close on a lot of maps, but for something like Crossing Field, like it feels really big, but I don't know if that's just my impression or if that's actually true.
It might also be because it is wider than it is high in terms of like it's a rectangular shape, kind of like a Heartbreak Ridge.
Yeah.
So it may give the illusion of it being a little bit longer.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And it looks like eOnzErG is actually going 12 drones though. No 9-pull here. You jinxed it.
I did. I cast the curse at the 9-pull. It's too strong.
Too strong indeed, and it's going to be 12-pull again from Ty2, and 12-pull. Wait, I think that was a 12-pull. But yes, it was also 12-pull from eOnzErG, but he hasn't taken his gas yet.
Yeah, his gas is going to be slightly later. But the pull was pretty much exactly the same time, I think. Ever so slightly ahead, actually, for eOnzErG.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, we see the overlords for both players are going to be missing each other. Not that it matters too much, it is a 2-player map. But it does mean that it should be a little bit harder to find the overlords a little bit later on when they go for the Mutalisks.
Yeah, so the overlord's kind of heading to the natural so that they can see any Zerglings running out. Meanwhile, so eOnzErG's gas was later, but his hatchery is quite a bit faster. Well, a little bit faster than Ty2's here. And interestingly, there's a 2 supply difference here. I'm not 100% sure why. 11, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why is there a 2 supply difference?
He is building out of all 3 of his eggs, so maybe that'll come into it as well.
Oh yes, of course. It's the 6lings and the eggs that already take up supply. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Wait, who did I say had 10 drones? eOnzErG has 10 drones.
Yeah.
And Ty2 has 11. Yes.
Yeah, he does have 10, yeah. I counted 9, but that was just on minerals. Yeah, we do see both players will be going into the lair. I think they went up at around the same time. Of course, eOnzErG does have that extra hatchery a little bit sooner, but these extra 2 links that he's built are 1 less drone, which does give Ty2 that advantage.
Yeah, and we'll see if that's enough of a difference for Ty2 to actually take this game. No build order advantage this time for eOnzErG. He is moving out with his Zerglings though. Oh, he's just gonna chill for a little bit. Now, Ty2 actually, his overlord isn't in position to see if the Zerglings moved out or not, because he moved back to actually check the main base, to check the Spire timing. So eOnzErG has the opportunity to actually go and attack with these, but he would have to bust up a narrow ramp, which is not particularly an easy feat.
Yeah, it's not an easy feat, and it's not really worth it. I think both players are playing this really well, just defending with the links and just droning off as hard as they can. The Spire is going up for eOnzErG in the back base as well, interestingly enough. And the Spire is, I believe, actually a little bit quicker. It's over 100 health quicker than Ty2's again. Yep. So eOn a little bit crisper on his earlier timings.
Interestingly also, eOnzErG, after seeing the Spire, immediately starts running away with his Overlord. Ty2 just kind of paused a bit and is now going down towards the ramp. This is going to mean when the first Mutas come out, eOnzErG will have a better opportunity to actually snipe Ty2's Overlord because it's closer to his base, whereas eOnzErG's will be easier to defend as they move back towards his own base. So that could be a difference in the game. You know, losing 1 Overlord is a pretty big deal in a ZvZ, although we can now see Ty2's running away as well.
Now, interestingly, seeing the amount of lings that eOnzErG has, Ty2 has actually decided to add a lot of lings on, trying to get away. I'm not sure if eOnzErG's ling actually saw that, but this could be a very dangerous position for eOnzErG to be in, and Ty2 not really showing too much now.
eOnzErG doesn't have speed. Ty2 has speed. His lings could actually do quite a bit of damage here, but again, That ramp is so hard to break up. 11 lings at the top of the ramp, 12 lings coming in. I don't think that that's enough of an advantage, but eOnzErG moves down the ramp. Oh no, this could be really bad for eOnzErG. 11 non-speed lings against 12 speed lings is definitely going to go in Ty2's favor. You can see, look at these lings absolutely crush eOnzErG. eOnzErG now in a lot of trouble. 9 damaged lings running into his base. The Scourge are out.
They're going to make it up.
eOnzErG only made Scourge. He didn't make a single Mutalisk. He made 10 Scourge kicks. He's gonna die.
He has no defense about this. Yeah, I think he's actually just gonna die. He's even gonna lose his Spire. 1 Mutalisk is all that remains. I mean, it looks like he's gonna kill the Mutalisk of Ty2. 1 does go straight down. Another 3 are gonna move across. But he has no or he has nothing to defend against all these lings.
Oh man, 3 Mutas from Ty2 actually hiding on the bottom side to avoid those Scourge. Looks like all but 1 of the drones has fallen. 1 drone left in this gas, 2 drones, 1 drone in each gas is all that is left for eOnzErG's mining. Look at the supply counts. It is 12 to 28 for Ty2. Ty2 looks like taking only 1 Scourge apiece on each of these Mutas. He's at 4 Mutas and 1 Scourge against the 4 Mutas of eOnzErG, who is desperately making drones to try and catch back up. But how can you possibly come back from this position?
Well, the one interesting thing is, because of all those Scourge, look at how badly hurt Ty2's Mutas are actually sitting out right now. If Eon somehow manages to win the first air battle, he could possibly slowly build enough drones to come back, but it's going to be so difficult. He has 5 Mutas against the, I believe that's 6 now. No, that's 6 or 7, I think, of Ty2. They are badly bruised, but he should still be in a good place.
See, the thing is, though, he waited a long time, so these Mutas actually regenerated like 10 health. Whoa, hello! Oh my god, everybody was AFK here. They both awkwardly fly by each other, but it looks like eOnzErG is the one on the retreat. He's trying to do the micro. He's trying to out-micro his opponent. He's doing a good job. It's now equal Muta numbers. Now it's 5 against 4. eOnzErG with the Muta advantage right now. Are there any more Mutas coming? I'm looking on the minimap. I don't see anything. It's extremely close. Oh my god, it's so close. It's going to be a pretty even exchange. Oh, there's 2 Zerglings. 6 kills on these 2 Zerglings in the main base. Oh god. Anyway, at the bottom right position as the TL-Zerg, we do have Ty2.
And up in the top right, we do have eOnzErG.
Oh yeah. All right. So vertical spawns kicks. This could definitely be a quick and bloody battle. Vertical spawns is it's pretty. I mean, basically, if they do go for 12 pull expands, right? Their naturals are going to be so ridiculously close to each other by air. It's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out.
Now, Ty2 is he's actually going to scout the wrong way, so Eon is going to get the Overlord advantage again.
Ooh. Does that mean he's going for... Well, actually, I don't know what that means anymore, because, again, I thought that means either, you know, like a 9 pull or a 12 hatch, some kind of one of the more extreme builds. Or maybe not extreme, but, you know, one of the ends of the spectrum builds. But he actually went for the 12 pull expo with this non-standard scout as well, so I can't really say what that means for him. Whereas eOnzErG, it's like he's making his own Overlord, he's going for the standard vertical scout. He's going to be quite happy to get the scouting advantage here so quickly.
Yeah, I guess one thing about the way Ty2's scouting is, technically, I think the bases, I guess they must be the same distance by air, but it feels like horizontally there'll be a shorter distance to actually scout. But I think the map is square, so once again, that's just some weird perspective thing. And Eon will see this 12 hatch coming up.
Oh man, so in this case it did actually mean what I thought it should mean, and he is going 12 hatch to avoid revealing his spawn location, but there's nothing eOnzErG can do about this. He's already gone for the 12 pool, presumably 12 pool expand, so this time it's the reverse situation from the first game where eOnzErG went 12 hatch and Ty2 went 12 pool. This time Ty2 is the one going 12 hatch with that build order advantage. And I guess we'll see here what eOnzErG can try and do about this. Again, this is the third and deciding game. This best of 1 ZvZ will decide who goes to the semifinals, because we're already in the round of 8. So it's a pretty huge match here, Kix.
It is. This is the difference between no prize money and prize money, correct?
Yep. We're on the bubble.
And I mean, this is crazy. Ty2 definitely going to be seen as the underdog moving into this series. Has actually got the build order advantage moving into the final game in this round of 8 game as well. So Ty2, I mean, he's putting in a good showing today. Is eOn gonna fall in the round of 8?
That would be a very interesting result. I mean, it's looking good for Ty2, but you never say never. I mean, if this was Jaedong, and Jaedong went 12 pull against 12 hatch, he would totally still win it. So, anything is possible. So the first 2 things are coming out here for eOnzErG. They're going to run past this Overlord. Interesting, just 2 lings at a time, it seems. Did he make more drones or something? He's got
one thing Backer you pointed out in chat is he says there is everything eOn can do about it. He can adjust ling numbers and decide really on how he wants to play versus it. Yep. So I guess eOn in this case is going to try and drone up a little bit more. One thing to note from earlier in the series, so far, every single game, eOn has actually had a drone disadvantage leading up to the Mutalisk. So maybe he's trying to adjust slightly and help with that. But weirdly enough, he knows his opponent went for 12 hatch, and he's still getting the sunken first.
Ty2 had a 1 drone advantage until eOn made this one at his natural. So now I think it's 12 on 12, if my numbers were still correct. And it's interesting how Ty2 made the lair at the natural there. This actually seems to serve 2 purposes, right? So 1, you avoid the Zergling scout on the timing. And 2, also, I guess since the natural hatcheries are the ones that's going to be under attack more probably than the main hatcheries, you know, there's some weird world where that extra HP on the natural hatchery actually saves it from dying or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially against eOnzErG as well. He's known for his lings. So
yep.
Only now is eOnzErG actually seeing this lair. He had to send his Overlord back. He will try and get away from the Spire anyway. But I mean, I know it's ZvZ, but he won't actually see the Spire, so he won't know when the first Mutalisks are coming out.
Wait, why did Ty2 send half his lings and send half of them back? Wait, what's going on? Wait, what?
I don't think he knows if eOnzErG's going for some kind of counterattack, so he wasn't too sure, but I mean, that is going to cost him there. Now, eOnzErG actually even walling in with an Evo chamber as well. Well, partially walling. I mean, Ty2 does have so many lings. I mean, look at his ling count, it's crazy.
Wow, did eOnzErG just completely misread what was happening here? He lets the Evo finish. His Spire is faster. He doesn't need the Evo, right? Why is that finished? Like, an Evo wall, you might as well just build another sunken. Like, that seems very weird to me. I don't know why this was allowed to finish, but anyway, it's gonna help, I guess, as part of the wall. I mean, I guess it is a wall-ish? No, but now Ty2's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going back. eOnzErG, by the way, seems to have lost. Oh no, he must have just done a gas trick or something, because he's one oversupply. And Ty2 actually made a couple of too many overlords, although that's probably in preparation for the Spire finishing. Yeah, it looks like it is, and he's now going to make his own sunken colony. Although eOnzErG now.
eOn's moving in.
eOnzErG.
He's gonna the bridges though. This is going to be hard for him. Is he going to go over the high ground? Yes, he is. He's going to try and forgo any advantage that Ty2 can get. Is this sunken going to finish in time? I think it may do.
Yep.
But look at this. 2 Scourge again, camping the eggs at the main, moving back up to the natural just to see if they can find something.
He's got to be careful though. He's got to control them, otherwise they're going to kill themselves on overlords. Got to make sure that doesn't happen. That's not the target you want. But look at this. eOnzErG actually plummeting in supply right now. eOnzErG losing a lot in supply. He lost a lot of lings, and the lings are actually racing. They're racing back to eOnzErG's base. eOnzErG going to catch some of the lings here. It's going to be a base race, I think. It's going to be a base race. No, eOnzErG is coming home. Ty2 is going for the kill. The mutas are out. Ty2 is sending half of the lings into the base, but he's actually attacking the evolution chamber. He attacked the evolution chamber for some reason. The drones are running. The mutas are in the air. The lings are going to try and kill as much as they can here. How much can Ty2 actually get? Can he get the Spire?
He's the Spire.
No, he's going for the drones. Oh my god, he's not going for the Spire, he's going for the drones. Instead, he's going to try and kill as many drones as possible. He gets yet another drone here. The rest of the drones are coming back. The lings for eOnzErG are just chilling inside his base. The supply counts are very, very even, which means that because Ty2 has the drone advantage, eOnzErG must have the army advantage right now. Or actually, wait, he saved most of his drones, though.
He did save them, though, but that was a lot of time where he wasn't actually mining. He transferred them back and forth a few times. So Ty2 will have a slight edge in economy, and as you can see, His supply has gone up. It's all going to come down to this air battle, I think. There's so many Lings on the ground, they're soaking up a lot of damage.
Oh man, the Sunken Colony's doing a great job here, but Ty2's Mutalisk stop moving. He needs to keep them moving. He does take one Scourge hit. The Scourge on Scourge, though, does negate that. 8 Mutas right now against 6. Ty2 has a 2 Mutalisk advantage. He has an 11 supply advantage. This is looking extremely bad for eOnzErG. Ty2 even, actually both players getting the second gas. eOnzErG getting it first, but I don't think he has the real drone count to support this, although maybe he'll just focus more on the Scourge, I guess.
He's actually built a couple of drones here, well at least one drone to put in that natural gas, so he's going to mine it with one drone at least. But I mean, he's only got 9 drones in his main. Meanwhile, Ty2 has at least 12 or 13, I think, actually sending another drone up to his natural.
Yep.
So both of them are going to try and macro up here, but Ty2 going into this with an incredible advantage.
Oh man, indeed he is. eOnzErG, I mean, it was a very interesting move here. It looked very dangerous with that first Zergling attack, but then there was the counterattack from Ty2 where the Lings were racing up. I thought for sure eOnzErG was just going to go and counter into Ty2's main, and I wonder what would have happened in that situation, because it looked like eOnzErG had more Zerglings, and he had Mutas at home to actually defend. So I think if eOnzErG actually just went for the straight counterattack, he would have actually been in a better position than he is in right now.
Yeah, I mean, he is just... one really interesting thing that eOnzErG's doing is actually just moving his Mutalisks in like a big hourglass formation in his natural at the moment, just trying to catch anything he can this community. He's caught a few Lings already, but just as they fly out, Ty2's going to try and send some Lings in. He'll have to pull back with these, but I think he was going for what he did before. And I mean, Ty2, he's actually got a Scourge outside an egg. It hits an Overlord that spawned, but it did no damage to the Overlord. What on earth happened there? It's
a bug. If it hits too fast, it actually doesn't do damage. It's a really dumb bug. But I guess he would have preferred a Mutalisk kill anyway. And it looks like the Mutalisks for Ty2 are coming out. There's 11 Mutas right now against 8. He actually baited out, or rather he scouted out the position of these Mutas with those Zerglings. A lot of Scourge are coming in. One connection straight away. Where is the micro from Ty2? He gets a lot of Scourge connections, but he does kill some of them. He's got his own Scourge chasing away.
Yeah, looks like we had a lot of Scourge connections with Scourge there, but I think eOnzErG has actually managed to nearly even up the Muta count again. Ty2's actually droned up a little bit more as natural. He's got another 2 drones now on minerals. And I mean, we should start to see some upgrades finishing for both players shortly.
Yeah, that would be very nice if either of them could afford it. Ty2 may be having the stronger economy the whole game, would have a better chance of getting one of those upgrades. But a 20 supply difference in ZvZ is absolutely massive at this stage of the game. I mean, at pretty much any stage in a ZvZ, 20 supply difference is massive. Unless you get those crazy late game Hive ZvZs, which I haven't seen one in a very long time. So yeah, it looks like Ty2 actually spreading out some Zerglings, making sure there's no hidden bases around. He might actually find some Overlords, which could lead to more air battles. Although look at this, the Muta's going in. Ty2 just wants to go for the win. Mutas of eOnzErG are out of position. Yeah,
he's going to get 2 Overlords for free here as well. eOnzErG's actually supply blocked at the moment as well.
Oh, Muta on Scourge action. A couple of connections. He got the Overlord though.
Wow, Ty2 actually nearly has, he has more than one control group of Mutalisks right now. Meanwhile, eOnzErG's only actually got 11. I think he overbuilt Scourge.
Oh man. That is not so good. Meanwhile, 2 Scourge coming in. Can they get a connection?
Oh, they do. They actually somehow get a Mutalisk there. And look, eOn's sending more and more Scourge down. It's all he can really afford right now. He's still 22 supply behind, and he needs to take any advantage he can. But look at this. Can Ty2 manage to mute? Oh my god, he took so many Scourge, but he's got so many Mutalisks, I don't think it matters. He's going to chase down the Mutalisks from eOnzErG.
Oh man, it looks like 11 Mutas against more than 12. Ty2 keeps running even though he has more Mutas. Finally, he's going to go for the engagement. No upgrade for either player. It's hard to say who's winning, but it looks like eOnzErG is going to start running. He knows he's behind 7 Mutas against 13, it looks like, for Ty2. eOnzErG is just running for his life. And eOnzErG has left the game.